Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Shard. Today is August 9th, 2020, and on Friday, August 7th, was my 10 months on T day. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the changes that I've seen. Things have been hard. A lot of changes are happening in my life, and so I moved out of my old house into a new house at the beginning of July. Started a new job at EarthCore. It's an AmeriCorps position in mid-June. And yeah, just kind of like everything's a little bit in flux. We're still in quarantine. And so that's sort of like another mental burden that exists for all of us right now. And all those things have been wearing me down a little bit. And so I've definitely been tired. I have to wake up at 6 for work, and so I go to sleep pretty early, but I only sleep like 8 hours a night, and then every Friday and Saturday night I end up sleeping for like 12 or 13 hours to make up for what feels like lost sleep. So 8 hours a night is not enough for me right now. I've been feeling definitely a lot less like socially energized than I have before in my life. I consider myself an extrovert, and I still enjoy and seek out the company of other people, but I find myself getting sort of socially tired more quickly now, finding it harder to like continue conversations. And I don't attribute that to tea. I attribute that to all of the life situations that are unfolding around me right now. Yeah. A little shout out to mental health. As I've said before, this time period has been exceptionally challenging for all of us, and I've noticed myself feeling more depressed, more anxious than I ever have in my life. And learning how to deal with that, which is something new to me, has been kind of a unique challenge. Finding ways to care for myself has been hard. But also I think it's important to remember that it's okay for it to be hard. I've been watching Steven Universe for the first time, connecting with my coworkers and my housemates and staying in touch with friends, doing meditation and trying to remain embodied has been helping me a lot to get through the days and the weeks that feel challenging. I guess I want to talk a little bit about like the testosterone injection process and how that's been for me. So for the first 6 months that I was on T, I was taking the gel and sort of slowly increasing my dose, but my sense is that it's always a little bit less effective than the injection. And so in April, I think, I switched to doing injections of 50 milligrams a week. And at first that process was really freaky for me. I didn't really like it. Now I've done 16 shots, so 4 months of shots. And it feels like it's gotten mentally easier for me. Like I know that it's not gonna hurt, like you just have to do it. And I even kind of look forward to Friday mornings when I do my injections. It's sort of exciting. I guess I'll share some gender feels while I'm here. In the past, I've been using a combination of terms to describe my gender identity. The terms that felt right for me were sort of like non-binary, trans, or trans-masculine. And while I recognize that I'm transitioning to like masculine of center in terms of body, that term no longer resonates with me the way that it did. And I think it's because even though I am moving towards a more masculine body, I don't feel necessarily like my internal self is like masculine of center, or that my gender expression is masculine of center. And as my body becomes more masculine, I feel sort of more empowered to embrace like feminine ways of presenting in terms of like clothing and jewelry. Growing out my hair is something I never would have considered doing before, because those things, they felt like they marked me as like a girly girl. But now if my body is masculine of center, then those things mark me more as sort of like an effeminate man, which maybe feels closer to the truth for me. I'm still figuring that out, and trying to like tease apart all the different factors that play into like our sex and gender identity. What that looks like for me right now is thinking about the term trans as an umbrella term, non-binary as an umbrella term, still using they them pronouns, but not really using the term transmasculine to describe myself. My voice has been changing a lot. It's been really fun and a little bit annoying. It breaks a lot. And I've been exploring my vocal range a little bit with the app Vocaberry, and I've discovered that even though my range is pretty big now, it goes from E2 at the bottom end up to C5 at the top end, the middle part of it, like where I used to primarily sing, is basically inaccessible to me right now. Like I can sing the low notes down here, and then there's a break. But if I use my falsetto voice, I can still sing some of the high notes. So that's been a little weird. It's been kind of a challenge to find out how to like sing some of the songs that I'm used to singing in a different key or in a different octave. It feels like there's sort of three voices. There's like a chest voice, and then a head voice, and then a falsetto, which is really weak, as you can hear. Whereas in the past it felt like I only had two. I had like my head voice and like falsetto, but there was no chest voice and there was no resonance. My average speaking pitch is, I wrote it down, 130 hertz, which is firmly in the male range, but I think because my voice still lacks a lot of the resonance of a male voice, it still sounds kind of feminine, or kind of effeminate, but it's still changing. So it's been really exciting. One of the other things that I've been noticing is like body hair and facial hair. My hairline seems to be receding and getting a little bit thinner, which I don't mind so much because I do think it's one of the things that makes someone's face look more masculine, having the higher hairline. And so a lot of folks don't look forward to that, but I feel fine with it. I've noticed some more facial hair, especially on my chin. There are some actually thick, dark ones. And then there's like some thinner, blonder ones coming in on my chin, on my upper lip, and kind of like coming down from my sideburns. One thing I didn't realize about body hair and facial hair is that it sort of spreads outward from wherever you already have hair. And so it's not like it all starts growing at once. It's like it starts on your calves where maybe you already have hair and kind of like spreads up your leg and like spreads outward from your crotch down your leg. It doesn't like all come in one even coat. And so I've noticed more thigh hair, but not really any like abdomen or chest hair, no back hair. And that's happening pretty slowly. It's not like a rapid change. And my new hairs are all still pretty thin. I've also been noticing a lot more acne, which is probably also because I started a new job where I'm working outside in the heat for 9 hours a day. And I have to wear a face mask and a helmet for most of the time. And so I've been noticing like a line of acne, like a helmet line of acne, and along kind of the sides of my face and my jaw. Anywhere there's like something touching my face, I get pimples. And that's not entirely new. Like, I've had facial acne before, but what is new is that I get a lot of leg pimples now, which is really gross and weird and had never happened to me before. Like maybe one per year. And now it's like a lot. So that's not super fun. I've been feeling a lot stronger, at least in some ways. My new house that I've moved into has a pull-up bar, and so I've been doing pull-ups, and I can just like do a pull-up, sometimes even two. In the past I had to train for that. Like, I remember going to the gym for like 4 months and practicing with the assisted pull-up machine before I could do a single one. But for whatever reason, my chest muscles are not very developed. Like, I can only do 3 or 4 push-ups, which is like the least I think I've ever been able to do. And so it's not entirely like an even distribution of strength in my body, but for the most part I feel stronger than I did before. And now that I'm working outside and like doing physical work all day, I feel like I'm noticing myself get more fit pretty quickly. That's all I have to say for now. So I hope y'all are doing well. If you have any questions or comments, please share them below. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I would be honored and delighted. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you can find some peace and joy during this chaotic time. Take care.